Hello, this is gonna be a quick 10 minute reaction to last two episodes of Lower Decks, episodes 5 and 6, uh Empathological Fallacies and Path Ferengi's Heart Place. I didn't get a chance to watch last week's episode until um yesterday night, and then I watched the next one, and then I fell asleep. I could do his reaction. So we're doing it now. But to be fair, these are kind of the episodes I'm not massively into because they're quite blue and we kind of like blue humor. Um, so I don't really have much to say because it's not so much the flow of the episode. It's just this doesn't really hit my tastes, which is fine. Nothing has to. But the first episode was essentially, I mean, the red herring was it was a free betazoid. Diplomats came on the ship and everyone started going really crazy. And people were like, well, it was clearly it's the betazoids. But then it kind of got revealed that actually instead it was Flynn having some distress from her situation. Yeah, some distress from her situation, and that was kind of affecting the crew instead, everyone in close proximity, and that meant kind of exasperated emotional state, which was apparently the same as being severely intoxicated. So everyone was very hyperactive and horny. And that was basically the comedy episode. It was nice. I guess it is kind of nice to see that some of the officers, even though they're clearly intoxicated, still had enough grasp of their fallacies to recognize they're being influenced. It always bothers me when like people act weird in sci-fi, and people in like sci-fi settings where people know in a sci-fi setting, and they're like, "Why are you acting so weird? What's wrong with you, you weirdo?" And instead of being like, clearly they've lost their capacity to control themselves. Something is up. Like in real life, if you met someone that acted completely abnormal to their normal emotional state, even in real life, we don't live in sci-fi real life, you should be thinking mental trauma or some lack of capacity or some degree of intoxication. You wouldn't think why. You wouldn't be like, "What's this weird attitude? Like this is the true you." You shouldn't be that straight thing at all. Especially if it's a one-off and they go back to normal. Or I guess maybe not, but you know what I mean. Maybe you don't, but that's medically what you should be doing, really. So I'm glad they did that part. It was more just antics and running around. It turns out the diplomats were also part of the base intelligence agency, which is a thing, and they kind of like take over the ship and try to fly it straight through as quickly as they can to Betazoid to figure out what's going on. Even though that takes them through the Romulan neutral zone, which is bizarre. Like, why would they do that? Like, I know the planets in the Federation have degree of autonomy, and so these diplomats aren't necessarily acting. They're not Starfleet, but they're still Federation citizens. They should still be like subject to a treaty. Like they're still breaking the law. They're not like an independent third party trying to get through the thing. I do like the joke though of like the Romulans just skirting around the neutral zone border, waiting for someone to cross it. That is kind of funny. But yeah, it once they kind of calm down to lane, everything goes back to normal. There's a B plot about trying to get Boimler to relax by. And I do like the whole implication that the security team also has a mandate to protect the mental well-being. It is cute. They are fair. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, they had it playing. It's cute. Yeah, I just wasn't that massively into it, but I don't have to be, I guess, you know what I mean. I need to stop saying, you know what I mean. I need to speak, Bella. Was there anything else in the episode? Oh, there's a whole controversy on Twitter because there was a hijabi in the episode. I'm like, get over it. Look at that. There's nothing more saying that. I say controversy. I think it's pretty much just one person getting pissed off and then everyone dogpiling on them, which is fair. They deserve that. I like I like the joke about Asians used to eat Betazoid women, and they don't anymore. But clearly, kind of someone's like have one of them. What else? Keegan Michael Mead has a jigsaw puzzle of him. And I like that as soon as Red Alert hits, all the security go like to full action mode and like kick ass. That's just really fun. Um, I did like that bit. And also they're able to kind of further the plot, like about the mysterious ship going and destroying things, but it's not touched on a huge amount. The next episode is Path Ferengi's Heart Place, and we have the excellent and enjoyable return of Max Grodenchik and I don't know how to pronounce that. Max Grodenchik and Chase Masterson, both of whom I've met, I think. Oh, at least I've seen Max on stage. I've met Chase. But their return as Roman Lita in the episode. I liked that part of this episode where the Admiral was like completely like didn't get that. It was like it was very Strange New Worlds. Basically, Rom only wanted to sign the contract if the person he was dealing with in the Federation proved themselves to be like respectful from your culture and like prepared to like kind of trick and like beat the success. So he was acting like a child, like a bad Ferengi, and then kind of like trying to scam, using that to kind of like scam this like completely over his head Admiral into like giving away too many things. And then obviously Marina comes in, not Marina, Carol Freeman comes in and basically saves the day by getting one under Rom. That was fun. I like that. I like it. It was a bit kind of silly, but I like how it turned out. But the most focused episode was on them going to the lower decks, going to Ferengi to Ferenginar to explore the planet and like update the travel log, and that involved doing other like leisure things. And I mean, I like Marina's. Actually, to be fair, I love Marina's plot line because she's like acting out because she's so used to being a difficult person that when her life's now normal, she doesn't know how to like normalize herself, and that's very like a relatable and a very kind of it's relatable. It's also a element of mental health that isn't particularly talked about a huge amount. I don't think enough, and having that explored, I hope it gets explored further because I think that's like that's it's relatable. Like, I mean, to be fair, I'm not well, but like I occasionally I occasionally have these intrusive thoughts about acting out just to like cope with things, and that's one of the things that Marina gets challenged on in this episode by her Ferengi friend. I'm trying to remember the name of is it Miggy Mo? No, it's not Miggy Mo, it's someone else. Anyway, Quimp, who we've seen before, in Envoys. I like that. I like that plot line. Boimler didn't have much to do. He basically got obsessed with commercialized. Instead of doing his full itinerary, he visited his hotel room and got entrapped by commercialized TV, and then for some reason had to get like beat up and tasered and dragged out. I'm not quite sure why that happened. It was a bit funny, but it was a bit cruel, a bit scary actually. Whatever. Did not enjoy the cringe humor of Rutherford and Tendi having to force themselves to act like a couple. It was like cringe humor, and I don't like cringe humor because I don't like secondhand embarrassment. So, sooner that was over, the better. To be honest, it was just I just didn't. I don't want to think about it anymore. So on that note, I'm just gonna end the video. Goodbye.